Okay, so if you know Moon Knight, you know that he has multiple different identities that consist of Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and Jake Lockley. But what you may not know is for a period of time, there was three more, which was Captain America, Spider-Man, and the Wolverine. Giving the plot a very brief summary is, well, Moon Knight is stationed in LA and he is trying to take down the kingpin of LA called Count Nefaria, who's fought Thor in the past, and Moon Knight gets the help of Echo and an ex-Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. member named Buck, and they try to take him down. That's basically the plot of the comic. But the stuff inside of the comic, the internal thoughts of Moon Knight and his multiple personalities, and his friendship with Buck and Echo was entertaining. Okay, so at various points in this comic, you see that Moon Knight clearly has the personalities of Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Captain America. But he also speaks to them. They speak to him, they tell him what to do, what not to do, but he also dresses up as them and fights crime. The question is, why does he have these personalities? It's not explicitly said why, and you don't see it again outside of this comic, but I like to believe that he has these personalities because these characters are set in their ways. Captain America is Captain America and he acts like it. Wolverine acts like Wolverine, and Spider-Man is always your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But Moon Knight, on the other hand, he's not. He's Mark Spector, he's Stephen Grant, he's Jake Lockley, and that changes all the time. And his dynamic in different comics is also very different, whereas the others are more consistent. I think that Moon Knight looks up to them. It's clear he takes a lot of pride in being an Avenger, and I think he looks up to Cap, Wolverine, and Spider-Man for being set in their ways and having a strong identity of themselves, which Moon Knight clearly doesn't. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, Moon Knight in this comic is a director of a movie he's making called Legend of the Khonshu. Doesn't really have much other plot relevance, apart from that's how he makes his money to pay Buck to make weapons for him. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it. It's quite funny to see. In one of the issues, Moon Knight is fighting at a strip club and is wearing a Spider-Man costume, and everyone is like, Spider-Man? That's Spider-Man. And they slowly start to realize that it's not Spider-Man because of the way he's acting and the way he's fighting. And as he starts to lose the fight, he pulls out these makeshift Wolverine claws to win the fight. Later on in the comic, his friend Buck even makes him a Captain America energy shield, which Moon Knight is very fond of and uses quite a bit halfway through the comic. Buck is clearly quite hesitant to work with Moon Knight at the start, but as the comic progresses, their dynamic becomes more and more friendly, and you can tell they actually like each other. Also, Moon Knight dresses up as Bullseye and threatens to kill Buck to test his loyalty. The night Moon Knight is fighting in the strip club, he runs into Echo, who is undercover as a stripper, and she's not fond of him either at first. Moon Knight kind of ruins her undercover operation, and she's not happy about it and doesn't want anything to do with him again. But Moon Knight is clearly infatuated by her and wants to get to know her more. There's a slight romance between them in the comic, but it doesn't really progress much further than that. Though Echo is very important to this comic and definitely is a driver for Moon Knight's motivation at certain points. The Avengers aren't just a part of Moon Knight's identity, they're in this comic, and it's quite entertaining to see. The Avengers in this comic were very fun to read, and I'm sure you can imagine the dynamic between them and Moon Knight was pretty funny, and there are a lot of comic panels that have come from this comic that are now some of my favourites, which consists of this comic panel where Captain Marvel asks, "Has anyone dated Moon Knight?" and Spider-Man replies, "A little bit," which, by the way, I thought this was fake. There are a lot of Moon Knight comic panels that people edit to say funny things, and I've seen this one before and was like, that's funny, imagine if that happened. It happens, which is very funny to me. One thing I really liked about this comic is that although it showed how Moon Knight has his multiple personalities and identities, it also showed how they're conflicting. Captain America is arguing with Wolverine all the time to do the right thing, whereas Wolverine's just, basically saying, go in, get it done, and get out. Whereas Spider-Man is like, let's do this mission, but with the least casualties possible. And Captain America is telling Moon Knight to call the Avengers. This is not your problem. Call the Avengers. People are going to get hurt. I would definitely give this comic a read if you want to read a Moon Knight comic that's going to make you laugh, but also have you gripped as to what's going to happen in the end and how they're going to sort out this problem. Or if you just love Moon Knight and want to see him in pretty much anything. And if you are confused about the Fox X-Men timeline, please click on this video and hopefully that will help you. But regardless, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.